What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the September 9th, 2023 edition of the SmackDown LowDown. Matt Camp, Megan Moran in the studio breaking down SmackDown from Friday, running down the biggest headlines, including recapping the LA Knight Austin Theory match won by Knight. We hear from Knight backstage with Kayla Braxton. Keeps it short, sweet, straight to the point here, saying that come SmackDown next week when he gets his rematch with Miz, Miz is going to be getting the same treatment that he got at Payback, which is a win, or rather a loss, in the hands of LA Knight. It was funny. He actually questioned Kayla for how she got into the locker room. He's like, what are you doing here? You think you could just barge in here and ask me questions? Which is really what more people should be asking on these shows. Considering it is pretty silly, we have like the interviewer in the locker room with the talent when they're probably not supposed to be in there. Anyway, back in the studio, they hype up Grayson Waller effect for next week with John Cena as the special guest. We hear from Grayson Waller quickly as well, also in the locker room, I believe. And Waller says that, listen, he was with Kathy Kelly here, which was entertaining because Kathy and Waller have a great back and forth on Twitter and whatever, X. And they just kind of have this, like, not even love-hate relationship. Kathy is, like, annoyed by him, and he's, like, thinking that she's trying to stalk him and whatever. So it's just really funny. But he addresses the turnbuckle spot from SmackDown, where I guess he tried to, I don't remember it, but he, like, went after the turnbuckle, trying to help Theory win the match. He was unsuccessful. He's just looking forward to, on SmackDown next week, making John Cena's come true. He's a big Make-A-Wish guy. He makes a lot of people's wishes come true. He wants to make John Cena's wish come true next week on the show by having him on the Grayson Waller effect, and he's excited to give him the Grayson Waller rub. Matt Camp talks about Grayson Waller's confidence, which will be on full display in that segment next week on SmackDown. They recap the Judgment Day win, Finn Balor and Damian Priest beating the Brawling Brutes, Butch and Ridge Holland in tag team action. They also recap the Shotzi and Charlotte tag team win over Damage Control's Bayley and Io Sky. We hear from Damage Control backstage, and Dakota Kai says, listen, everyone's asking if Io is ready for Asuka. What if Asuka is not ready for Io? Why aren't we asking why Asuka isn't ready for Io, or whether she is ready for Io, or whatever? And Io says that Asuka disrespected her on SmackDown during that match on Friday, and it's her era now. And they hype up Io versus Asuka for the first time ever on WWE TV for the WWE Women's Championship coming up in 2 weeks on SmackDown. They recap the main event, AJ Styles versus Jimmy Uso, AJ winning the match. And Matt Camp continues the question, where does Jimmy stand with the Bloodline? Is he a part of the group? Does he want to be back in the group? Is he playing with them? Blah, blah, blah. And then to close out the show, they preview next week's 2 Women's Championship matches, with Rhea Ripley defending the Women's World Championship against Raquel Rodriguez this Monday on Raw. And on Tuesday, Becky Lynch challenging Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship. Pretty standard stuff here from the SmackDown Lowdown. It was the shortest show in a while. This was only 21 minutes, and I'm not complaining. My SmackDown audio review from from today was also on the shorter side because there really wasn't a lot to talk about from SmackDown on Friday. The Bloodline stuff with the OC and Jimmy and Solo and the Judgment Day, that kind of dominated the show on Friday, and it was fine. But if that's going to be their central storyline going forward, I question that because it's not currently interesting. Not as interesting as it should be, I'll say. So we'll see where that goes. But pretty fine edition of SmackDown Lowdown for this week. Really nothing worth seeking out, although the Waller and Knight promos were well done, as well as Damage Control, hyping up their stuff for the coming weeks. Thank you guys for checking out my review of the show. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Have an awesome one, guys. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.